How is everybody doing? Welcome back to another live stream on the channel. We've got an action-packed live stream for you today. I'm going to be discussing my plan for altcoin season. I'm going to be giving you a realistic plan, okay? Not some moon boy 100x plan. I'm going to be going through different things, targeting different sectors, and it is going to be a very in-depth, action-packed live stream, okay? Now, obviously, this is just scratching the surface on an actual plan for an altcoin season. There's a lot to get into. It's very complex, so I can't fit it all into one live stream. If you want more of my opinions about alt season and more of my views, then the best bet is to be in my VIP group. We have daily voice chat calls, and I discuss these things at length every single day, and we do exclusive live streams where I go into these things in even more depth. But in today's live stream, I'm still going to go through it. I'm going to try and get as much valuable information into this stream as possible. I think right now is a good time to be thinking about these types of things since the market is obviously down. There's a lot of opportunity. I've been telling you guys, if you are looking to join a group, if you are looking to do these things, now is the time because there's ample opportunity in the market because there's lots of nice prices. You don't want to be doing these things once everything's already pumped. You want to be doing them when there's great opportunities and great prices. Same goes for reshuffling your portfolio. Okay, if your portfolio right now is a mess and you're holding a lot of kind of crap, old, outdated projects, this is probably the time you want to be looking at reshifting it and changing things, okay? So we're going to go through a lot in this stream. Smash the likes on the stream, guys. We've been doing daily content, right? And the market's been pretty boring. A lot of people haven't been making a lot of money. But we're still here every single day, pretty much, doing live streams, doing videos. And a lot of other YouTubers are not because there's not much money to be made right now. But the reality is there absolutely is, okay? If I think back to all the times I've made money in crypto, it was that key decision-making during the down market, during the fear, that allowed me to make a lot of money. For example, when I bought Miria at literally the all-time low, everyone was calling it a scam. Everyone was saying it's over. I bought it at the all-time low, and literally a couple months later, I was up almost 20x on my money. Okay, and I was taking profits, which is the important thing. Same goes to Bitcoin. When I bought Bitcoin at 15K, 16K, everyone was panicking about the FTX scenario, saying we're going lower, and I was scooping up some of the dips and making the most of it. So let's get straight into the plan for alt season, okay? There's a lot of stuff I'm going to discuss here. First of all, we need to be realistic about alt season, okay? We can't be having these crazy moon boy targets of 100x, 200x, 1000x. I'm sure there'll be a few shit coins, a few memes that make people 100x. But at this point in the cycle, the post-halving year, where maybe there's a few months left, maybe 4 months, 5 months, 6 months left of the bull run, you need to be realistic about how much money you're looking to make. And the people with unrealistic targets, the people who are saying, I'm going to make a 50x, 100x, 200x, those are the very people who are going to get wrecked in this bull run because they're too greedy. The more the price goes up, the bigger their expectations get. We are not going to fall into that trap on this channel, okay? We're not going to fall into it. The more the market pumps, the more I'm going to get fearful. The more I'm going to be looking to take profits. A lot of other people, a lot of the kind of conventional people, just the normies, the more the market pumps, they get more bullish. Okay, Bitcoin goes 100K, they up their target. Right now, they're saying 120K Bitcoin top. I can bet you any money, as soon as Bitcoin goes to 100K, these people are going to be saying 150K. As soon as we go to 120K, these people will be saying 200K. That is just the psychology of the market, and that's how it works. And we need to be very realistic with this bull run and understand this isn't the 2017 bull run where everything goes up forever and everyone comes out rich. We're not all going to make it. That's the brutal reality. Most people will lose money. And you've seen that already, right? We had this huge, huge run up on crypto from a 400 billion total market cap to a 1-point-something trillion total market cap. And most of you guys right now are looking at your portfolios and it's not looking too great because most people don't take profits on the run up. Now, I wasn't perfect myself. I could have taken a lot more money off the table than what I did. But I did take basically all my money out of meme coins around the top. I did take some money off Kaspa around the top. I took some money out of Sui around the top. Some other coins I didn't take profits on because the profits weren't good enough. So I'm not trying to make out as if I'm completely and utterly perfect, but I did take some profits. A lot of people, they didn't even take any. You can't make that mistake again. Now, we have to be realistic. People are throwing around crazy targets, even still, despite this dump. Still hearing people say $20 Kaspa, still hearing people say 300, 400, 500K Bitcoin. And I'm sorry to break it to you, but you are being conned with those types of predictions. We need to be real, okay? And what I think is because of what's happened here, we are actually somewhat mirroring, somewhat cloning the 2021 correction, okay? Now, obviously, history doesn't completely and utterly mirror and repeat. It rhymes. And there is definitely some form of rhyming going on here. If we pull up a couple clear indicators on this chart, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So let's pull up the Gaussian channel and the bull market support band. You can see during this first major run-up we had in 2021, we broke down below the bull market support band. Where did we find our support? We found our support basically on the top of the Gaussian channel. We slightly entered it, okay, and then we bounced. Look at this time around. Where is the Gaussian channel? It's around 73K. Where's the bull market support band? It's up here. We broke down below the bull market support band on the weekly around 90K. Same thing happened last cycle, but it wasn't over. A lot of people would say that would imply the end of the bull run, but it doesn't. It just implies we are getting close to the end of the bull run. We are getting somewhat exhausted, okay? So this time, Bitcoin went from a high of 64K to a high of 69K. That was the difference, okay? And in percentage terms, we can just take a look. That would be just a 6 or 7% increase from high to high. I hate to break it to you, to some people. Some people, you know, they're thinking 200K, 300K. I hate to burst your bubble. This is just my view, of course. I could be completely wrong and Bitcoin goes to 500K. I could be completely wrong. But my belief is either the bottom was at 78K or whatever it was here, 76K. Either that was the bottom there, or we go a little bit lower to maybe 73, 72. And then from there, we probably run up to maybe 115 to 120K. That's kind of what I think, because there's been so much damage done here. The chances of us making a major, another kind of major blow off top, where we head up to the 170s and 200s, I think it's going to be lower, because there's going to be so many people who are going to be taking profits at 100K, 105K, 110K, because they saw all their money wiped away from them in literally a few weeks. And they've got PTSD right now. And those people, they don't want to wait until 150K. I'm one of those people. Okay, I made a lot of money this bull run. Okay, I'm not saying this to brag. I'm just saying this because I'm an example of one of these people. I made a lot of money. My portfolio from the absolute bottom of the bear market to the absolute top was up by many magnitudes, maybe 30x, 40x, 50x higher than what it was from the low. Most of that was made in 2023 from buying the bottom and taking a lot of profits on AI coins. But a lot of that was also made in 2024. And I want to walk away with some really nice profits. I'm not going to be waiting for these kind of crazy prices that people are saying will happen, because there's no guarantee. There's no guarantee. So first thing, I just wanted to make sure everyone is being realistic. Again, my targets could be wrong. I'm saying maybe 115, 120. It could be 130, 140. I could be wrong. Okay, I want to make that clear. But we need to be realistic about this bull run for Bitcoin. Now, what's interesting is because of the point in the cycle, Bitcoin will actually underperform in the next few months compared to altcoins once altcoins find their bottoms. And maybe they haven't found them just yet. I do think Ethereum's maybe got a little bit more pain to go. But if you look at this chart here, let me pull up the chart. Let me go on the weekly. So if you look at this one here, this is the top in May for altcoins, and then that is the top in November. I told you Bitcoin made around a 7% or 6% higher high from the first top to the second top in 2021, around a 6% higher high. We had this massive crash, just like what we're having right now, and then we went about 6% higher on Bitcoin. Now, if you look at the total free, that was around 15% higher. So what that implies is during the next leg up, altcoins will outperform Bitcoin by maybe 2x or 3x if the same thing happens, because that's what happened last time. And I think that is reasonable considering how high Bitcoin dominance is and how high it might go in the next few weeks if the crash continues. So my plan, I'm looking at the next few months, maybe once we get a cut, maybe kind of June onwards, May to June onwards, is going to be very bullish for altcoins. Bitcoin will still go up, but it will be kind of slow. It'll be a bit boring. It'll be kind of maybe a slow move up to 120K. Altcoins, however, especially Ethereum, they will start picking up the pace and they will start making higher highs and they will start doing very good things because of the cyclical context, because altcoins do the best at the very end of the bull run. The altcoins don't do the best in the beginning. You want to be in Bitcoin at the beginning. But at the end, when everyone's made their money on Bitcoin and they're looking for something else to put their money in, you see that trickle-down effect from Bitcoin into the altcoins. So that's what I'm thinking in terms of alt season. We see it, but it's not going to be as good as some people think. Some people are going to be butthurt when they see maybe, the total free only go up another, 20, 30, 40% from what it was last time. People are going to be butthurt if the total market cap only goes to 6 trillion. Okay, what is the total market cap right now? Let's take a look. Total market cap is 2.6 trillion, okay? It went higher than what it was in 2021 already. So already it's been a bull run. We have made a higher high since 2021. And we got as high as 3.7 trillion. Maybe we can go up to 5 trillion. Maybe we can go up to 6 trillion. But these figures like 10 trillion and above, I just think are ludicrous. And the same goes to ETH. Maybe Ethereum can go to 5, 6, maybe at a push 7K. But some of these figures that people are throwing out of 10K ETH, 15K ETH, there's no basis for that. There's no basis, okay? If you're looking at the similarities to last cycle, where we saw slight higher highs on Bitcoin, there's no basis for an Ethereum going above 10K. The only way how that could have happened is if we just kept on pumping throughout the last few months, but we didn't. So there's no point dwelling on the situation. We didn't. If we kept pumping at the rate we were after Trump won the election, we could probably be at 120K by now, maybe even 130K by now. And yeah, at that point, I would say, yeah, it's possible we keep on going up for the rest of the year and we see an exceptional bull run. But we haven't had that. We've had a big correction. We've had fears of recession. We've had tariffs and all of this stuff in the macro. And we've had high rates as well without many rate cuts. So for that reason, this cycle isn't going to be every single person becomes a millionaire type of bull run. And that's just the brutal reality. Okay, so since we've obviously determined that, it's now important to actually get into some substance of what you could actually do with your portfolio and how you could capitalize on this next leg up. Because, yeah, maybe it's not going to be 100x's and 200x's, but there could still be a lot of 5, 10, 15, 20x's to make in the next leg up. There definitely could be. Okay, so I'm going to discuss different risk levels because I personally think you want to be in the sectors with the best risk to reward. You don't want to be in the extremely high risk sectors because there is a slight chance, and I would be naive to tell you that there wasn't. There is a slight chance that we do enter a premature bear market. There is a slight chance. And if that is the case, You don't want to be in a bunch of meme coins because they'll go to zero instantly. But if worst case scenario happened and maybe Bitcoin did come down to 50K again, if you're holding quality coins, if you're holding layer ones, if you're holding strong DeFi projects, you're not going to be feeling the complete disaster of a bear market. I mean, you'll still be down a lot. Don't get me wrong. But it's not going to be as bad as if you're holding freaking Landwolf coin and other stupid memes, okay? You're not going to be feeling as much of a bear market. It will still go down, but it will be maybe more like a 50% drop or a 70% drop as opposed to a complete and utter rug, which is what basically all memes do in a bear market. So you do need to have some defensive strategies here in case the market was to start going down and things did end prematurely. You do need to have a little bit of a defensive portfolio in case that happens. And a lot of people in the stock market are also echoing this type of strategy, having some form of a defensive portfolio. A lot of people in the stock market are moving away from more high risk, risk on stocks to more lower risk stocks because they think there's going to be a big cutback in consumer spending. So people are looking at safer stocks to put their money in. I think the same should happen with crypto. So you've got these kind of different sectors with different risk levels. And I would say the ultra high risk sectors, the ones that are not defensive plays at all, would be memes, AI agents, and gaming. They are not defensive categories. I'm sorry to break it to you, they're not. These are categories which are highly volatile. And if you see a 20% dump on Bitcoin, they basically all go to zero. That is what those categories are. I still think you should have a little bit of them in your portfolio, but maybe, just 1% or 2% allocations in these types of categories. You don't want to be overboard in memes. You definitely don't want to be overboard in AI agents, and gaming you don't either, okay? Now, I've underlined memes and AI agents because both of these have already rallied. And what's interesting in the crypto space is a lot of narratives are basically cyclical. So they come in and out. So we had a big meme coin run in the end of 2024. Then we had a big AI run after that. At the beginning of 2025, we had a big AI agent run. And it's very interesting how there's kind of like an inverse relationship between these two narratives. Memes run, and then they get to a point of exhaustion, and then a lot of that liquidity moves into AI agents. And it was other forms of AI previously, right? The last time it was AI agents, but previously it was coins like Fetch, SingularityNet, etc. Now, I would kind of stay clear from sectors which have already pumped a lot, especially sectors which lack utility that have already pumped a lot. So my portfolio currently, as of now, has 0% in memes. 0%. Will I add a meme or two when things break out? Possibly. Right? When things break out, maybe I'll add a meme or two as more of a trade. But in terms of a long-term bulletproof defensive portfolio, memes do not deserve even 1% in it. You can have memes. I'm not saying don't have any, but I just personally de-risked out of them fully. I took my profits and I took a couple of losses and I got out of them. Then you've got AI agents. For me, it's oversaturated. There's too many of them. They've ran up too much. I wouldn't be having too many AI agents either in my portfolio. Maybe one play, it's fine, but I wouldn't be having much in that. Now, gaming is the interesting one because gaming hasn't pumped at all pretty much all cycle, apart from the very beginning stage where we made money on coins like Miria and we made a 50x on Nakamoto Games. Many of you remember. But gaming has a couple catalysts going for it later on in the year. You have GTA coming out in September, and you have the Gunzilla token coming out as well some point soon. I don't know exactly when it will be. And gaming is one of those coins which isn't necessarily oversaturated right now, and it isn't overhyped, and it's not exhausted because it's been dead for a while. So there is a possibility gaming could have a comeback. But my view on gaming is if memes are sky high and memes are hot, gaming is not going to be hot. And I put this out on my Twitter page earlier today. I explained my reasoning behind why I think gaming and memes are kind of like leeches for each other. All the same people who are buying gaming coins in 2021, buying the sandboxes, the galas, the decentralands, all those same crypto degens, they pivoted to memes this cycle. They were the same people in the Solana casino. The people who were buying gaming coins in the past were the same kinds of people who were buying Solana memes. So as long as you have memes as a dominant narrative, there is constantly going to be a leeching effect on gaming, and a lot of money from gaming is constantly going to be pouring in to the meme sector because people just see it as faster gains and less hassle, and you don't have to do as much research. But if the nail is in the coffin for memes and people are just done with them, like I am personally for now, that could actually lead to a nice rally for gaming, provided the catalysts are there and provided the sentiment recovers, okay? And all it takes for gaming is like one good coin to come out and do very well, and that spirals the whole category back into the system, okay? Kind of like what happened last cycle with Axie Infinity. And gaming was absolutely quiet in the early parts of the bull run, and then later on you saw ridiculous valuations like Axie Infinity, 10 billion market cap. Ridiculous. So gaming is one to have on the radar. But again, I wouldn't be putting much in it, maybe 1%. Then you get into the mid-risk categories, and I put RWA and AI infrastructure in this. AI infrastructure is a bit more broad than agents, and AI layer ones, I think, are maybe medium risk. You know, coins like Tau, coins like Artificial Superintelligence Alliance, like those types of coins are kind of medium risk, okay? They have some utility. So these are the sectors you want to have a little bit in, but you don't want to be going overboard. Okay, now let's get into the ones that I would basically base my whole portfolio around, and that is layer ones and DeFi. And pretty much it's like 95% layer ones and like 5% DeFi, okay? And you can have DeFi layer ones as well, such as SEI. It's kind of a layer one which ties into DeFi and trading and order books and stuff like that, marketplaces. This would be literally how I would structure a portfolio right now. I mean, you know, obviously you would still have 5% in some of these other categories. So maybe 90% layer ones, 5% DeFi, and then 5% split across all the other categories. So some in RWA, some in AI infrastructure. I guess you've got like DeepIn as well. You could put some in that. And then you got some other narratives, but I wouldn't be having too many smaller niche narratives that no one knows about. You know, if your best friend or your brother or sister can't explain something, you probably don't want it in your portfolio as a narrative, because when all of retail come back, they're not going to be knowing too much about freaking decentralized science or these other tiny narratives, okay? But if it's something simple, it makes more sense to have it in your portfolio. So that is pretty much the strategy right now, is have more of a defensive portfolio with quality in it, actual utility, not just pointless, hyped up coins. And yeah, you can have some of those coins. I made a lot of money on those coins already this bull run, but as of right now, I would be really skewing my portfolio in the direction of, you know, quality proven winners. And this kind of ties into what I believe will be the next major narrative in crypto, which is the Made in America narrative. I think this is already a narrative right now. A lot of these coins have already outperformed the market in the past few months. Even coins I don't really like, such as XRP, they have done well this cycle because they are US-based, well-regulated coins. And we're going to get into why I think this narrative is here to stay. Okay, but before we do, if you do want a crypto community that is active 24/7 and you want to see my buy alerts and my sell alerts, hop on over to the VIP. It's on a current sale. Use code SAVE20 at checkout, and you're going to save yourself some free money by using the code. Okay, SAVE20 at checkout. Link is in the description. So, Made in America tokens. This is the narrative I think should be pretty much 80-90% of your portfolio. Like, I'm looking at my portfolio right now. Kaspa is now considered made in America. SUI is considered made in America. SEI is considered made in America. Ondo is considered made in America. And obviously Bitcoin doesn't really count anyway, right? It's already considered a commodity and all of that. So Bitcoin it's irrelevant in this case, right? So my portfolio is very strongly tied into this made in America category or niche, whatever you want to call it, because I do think it's not the beginning. I mean, it's not the end, rather, of a pro-government approach to crypto. We're going to get more news throughout the course of this bull run of Trump and his administration being pro-crypto. And it seems to me like maybe they do actually want to buy Bitcoin at some point on the market. Don't know if they want to do it at this current price, but it seems to me like they could be exploring that as a strong possibility. And if that comes around at some point this cycle, that is going to absolutely explode the market. You've also got the crypto strategic stockpile, asset pile, whatever. And that includes various US-based cryptos. You've also got Trump buying US-based cryptos with World Liberty Financial. So you've got multiple things which are going to be ongoing this whole bull run, tying into this US-based narrative. And I think the crypto market is basically going to turn into something like the stock market, where you have something like the Mag 7, the Magnificent 7, but in crypto. And you'll have maybe the Magnificent 10, and it's XRP, SUI, Solana, Ethereum, Bitcoin, whatever, right? HBAR, Cardano. And these coins will be here to stay for multiple years and multiple cycles. And the whole rest of the market will basically be degen casinoing. And that's all well and good. I do that myself. We do that in the VIP group. But most of the coins outside the top 20, they're not going to be here for long. Okay, maybe one cycle, maybe two at max. And that is the reality. So the made in America narrative, it is future-proof in case we do enter a premature market, which I alluded to earlier. So if we were to start crashing for whatever reason because of a recession, this narrative would have some form of defense within it. Okay, it'd be some degree of safety. Obviously, not a lot because it's crypto, but it would be much more safe than having your money in more speculative plays. And it's a narrative which is going to have widespread press and mainstream news and discussion throughout the entirety of this cycle, especially if we have another crypto summit, or we have another speech by Trump about crypto, or another executive order, or another coin added to the stockpile at some point this cycle. People are constantly going to be exploring the next coin to be added to the stockpile. Will it be SUI? Will it be Avalanche? Will it be HBAR? Will it be Chainlink? Okay, and on top of this, which makes this narrative even more God tier, even more S tier, is the fact you're going to be having more and more ETFs in the pipelines, okay? Litecoin ETF, which is now considered made in America. Maybe we get a SUI ETF, a HBAR ETF, etc., etc. People need to realize this is literally almost guaranteed money. Okay, I don't like to throw around that phrase too often, but this is one of the safest ways to invest this bull run. And I already had a lot of these coins, but I pivoted even more into this type of niche. And just for full clarity, because people will be saying, what coins do you hold that are US based? Literally my two biggest holdings, SUI and Kaspa, are both considered US based coins. And then I've got Render, I've got Ondo, I've got Say, I've got other coins as well, which are US based. Okay. So that's the US based narrative. Now, that is the one which I would say is the best. And a lot of them are layer ones already. And a lot of them are also DeFi. Now, speaking of DeFi, what's interesting is Trump, his portfolio is pretty skewed to DeFi. There is a few DeFi projects that he's been buying, and no one really talks about DeFi, but every single bull run has been one of the dominant narratives. And this cycle, it's been pretty slept on. And I think at some point we will have a DeFi narrative. We will have another DeFi summer, especially when you look at the fact that there's a lot of regulations going on right now in the background around stable coins and around these types of things. So staking stable coins and or getting interest on them, getting a return, That is going to be a narrative which comes back as well. That's what Ondo are doing. And you can also relate this to RWA as well when it comes to other things, which could be, staked or providing an interest. So Trump's buying Aave, Trump's buying other DeFi projects. He's buying SEI as well, which I would say is like the ultimate DeFi play. It's not actually considered a DeFi play on the category of DeFi, but it is literally a layer one which works with DeFi protocols to enhance them and make them more fast and scalable. Okay. It's an extremely high speed project, and they have a built-in high speed digital marketplace basically designed to make buying cryptos much faster. Okay. And they also have a partnership with Uniswap, which is the biggest DEX in the world, where they basically speed up Uniswap. They're doing this with loads of other projects as well. So I think this is probably the most undervalued buy in the market right now. And I'm just looking at SEI as a really, really good buy for this bull run. Would I be deploying capital right now to buy it? Possibly. It did kind of just break down below support, so it's not necessarily the strongest buy in the world, to be honest. But it is still an extremely good project, and Trump literally just went and bought more yesterday or last night while I was sleeping. World Liberty Financial sent $25 million to a separate address last week, and they also bought $100,000 worth of SEI. This was an additional $100,000 worth of SEI. So they already had some, and then they just went and doubled down and bought even more. And this is Trump's World Liberty Financial company. So the whales are buying, the big players are buying, the president's buying, but yet people are still fading it. Don't be surprised if this thing explodes and goes and does a 10 or 20x in the bull run. And everyone looks at it just like they looked at SEI and said, I wish I would have bought it. Why did I miss out? And that's literally how everyone was with SEI. I mean, with SUI, when I was buying SUI. When I was buying SUI at 50 cents, or not 50, like 70 cents, and a lot of people in my group were buying at 50, even lower than me, people were saying SUI's dead. It's just a VC scam. It's never going to do anything. And then all of a sudden, it literally did a 10x from 50 cents all the way up to over $5. In fact, I think it was even more than that because it went as low as 36 cents. So, man, massive opportunity there on SUI. We were buying it very low. We made great gains. I was taking profits at $5 because I saw a crash coming at some point, and it happened. And now if I want, I can start loading back up again at a low price. SEI is giving me the same vibes as SUI when I bought it. It's all lining up. Now, obviously nothing's a guarantee, but I like this project. I think it's going to do very, very well this cycle. And this is really the ultimate risk-reward play because it's not necessarily like completely low risk and safe. It's not like a Solana or a Chainlink, but it's also not a completely degen coin. So it ties perfectly into that risk-reward level of being, somewhat risky and somewhat safe because literally Trump's buying. It's on all the big listings, all the big exchanges, and it's a quality coin with a low market cap. So yeah, big potential on Binance and Coinbase. Just to a 10 billion market cap, you're talking over a 10x. So I think it's going to happen personally. So we've gone through a lot there. Get your questions in. I'm going to get into the questions and comments now. Hopefully this was a valuable stream. I've talked for 40 minutes about my plan for the bull run, and I could talk for 5 hours about it. And I literally do that in the Discord, okay? I literally go in the voice chat and talk for 5 hours straight. Somehow I still have a working voice after it. And we'll be doing a voice chat later as well today. So if you are in the voice chat, if you're on the Discord, make sure to attend the voice chat call later on today. And if you're not in the Discord and you want to take place in these calls and these VIP streams and all the good stuff, then hit the link in the description, sign up, use code SAVE20, and you'll get a really good discount there. So get your questions in. How is Kaspa made in the US? The category is looking oversaturated on CoinGecko. I think the people that work for Kaspa live in the US now, potentially. Or the place of origin or whatever is in the US now. So it is considered a US coin. Yes, it's looking saturated, but you just need to know which ones are good and which ones are bad. Like most of these coins are straight up bad, like Official Trump, Filecoin, it's okay, but it's kind of old. Algorand, it's okay, but it's kind of old. Optimism. Like most of these coins are not great. WorldCoin. Couldn't think of anything worse to put my money in. Could not think of anything worse. But yeah, you just need to know which ones are good. I mean, yeah, there's quite a lot of projects in this category, but you just need to know which ones are good and which ones tie into a good narrative. Like Ondo, L1, well, it's going to be an L1 and it's RWA. Very hyped up. A lot of influencers talk about it. Great partnerships and connections. So Ondo would be a good one, right? Aptos would be a decent one. Sui, clear winner. Say clear winner in the future, in my opinion. Like it's destined to do well, but it hasn't yet. You just need to know, like Melania, why would you buy that, you know? Pudgy Penguin, another stupid one. Like a lot of these made in America coins are just not good. Theta Fuel, okay, I'm not buying that. It's like another token for Theta. Basic Attention token, it's an older coin. It's Brave Browser. I use Brave Browser, but the token, no one really buys. So you just scroll down, man. Like 80% of these coins are just straight up bad. Yeah, Curve could do very well also in the DeFi category. Audio was going in and out. Was the audio bad at some point, or is it okay? Is that better? Can you guys hear me now? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. It's fine now. It was going in and out earlier. How long did it go in and out for? Was it a while or was it just a very short period? Because that's kind of annoying. Audio is fine. Don't listen to the haters. They're not haters, bro. They're just trying to let me know the audio wasn't working. Anyway, smash the likes on the stream. Appreciate all of you guys being here this Friday. It was a few minutes. Hopefully it wasn't too bad. Could you actually like depict what I was saying, or was it just completely inaudible? What's your take on gaming coins? Good question. So gaming, I put in a high risk category, but it hasn't pumped yet. AI infrastructure, that has pumped. So I put that as an underline. So the narratives which are underlined, they already have, I would say, reached a point of potential exhaustion, as in they've pumped a lot this cycle already. The coins that aren't underlined either haven't pumped or they just haven't pumped to exhaustion yet. Like DeFi really hasn't had its time yet. RWA, I'd say, has still lagged behind, apart from maybe Mantra and Ondo, which is like the only two that have pumped. Deepin hasn't really rallied yet that much. It has had a rally, but only select coins. Gaming, it had a very early rally, but since then it's been very quiet. So gaming, it's one of those, bro. Like, if something comes about that people don't expect and it's actually good and has a lot of players and a lot of hype, that could spark a new gaming rally. Or if a major company announces that they're doing some form of blockchain-based gaming. What's interesting is last bull run, what was the thing that ignited the whole gaming sector? It was the metaverse. It was Meta, or Facebook, turning into Meta, and everyone thought you were going to be in this digital world. You put on these glasses and you're freaking talking to robots and freaking aliens every day, trading NFTs with an alien and all this nonsense, right? People thought that was what was going to happen by now. I bet if you went back like 3 years and you listened to people, I bet they were saying, no one's going to be doing live streams in 3 years. You're just going to be in the metaverse and talking to a robot and all of this stuff, right? It was a massively overhyped fantasy, really, was the metaverse. And that's why you saw these ridiculous valuations of coins like Sandbox, which looked like they were made 20 years ago, but for some reason was put into this futuristic category of the metaverse. So all it takes is one thing. Like, that just shows last cycle, all it took was Facebook becoming Meta. All of a sudden, all these gaming coins explode. All these metaverse coins explode. All these NFT coins, or NFTs in general, explode. This time, it could be GTA 6 doing something with digital assets or something like that. I'm not so optimistic to think they're going to have their own token or any of this stuff that people are saying. I've seen no evidence of that. But it could just be a thing that starts and sparks a little rally. And all it takes is one catalyst. Either a game doing well, like Axie Infinity last cycle. A lot of people were actually making money off that, making a living, especially in parts of Asia. And that sparked a lot of hype around Axie Infinity. And that rising tide lift up all the other ships. That rising coin lifted up all the other altcoins. Okay? That's what gaming needs. So far, I've seen no evidence of that, but I still think it should have a small place in your portfolio of maybe 1% or 2% allocation, just in case it does come back around, because some of these gaming coins are on such cheap dips. Like, they're down so much. If they were to come back, it genuinely could be the 20, 30, 40x opportunity in the market. I don't think there's many 20 or 30x's left in L1s or DeFi, but with gaming, if it was to rally, there would be a lot of coins which would do instantly a 20 to 30x, okay? Peak and Arweave. Yeah, I like both of them still. I think they're both good, but I wouldn't allocate a crazy amount to them. They're coins that are good, and I hold them, but I wouldn't be going into Peak or Arweave as massive allocations, okay? You want coins like Sui and Kaspa and Tau and coins like that as much bigger allocations than those two. But they are very good, and I appreciate your support for the channel. Random altcoins have started pumping. That means alt season is almost here. I don't know if it means alt season is almost here. It could just be a little relief rally, a little dead cat bounce, a little trap. I still think there is a chance Bitcoin does come back down. The stock market looks very, very weak right now. It had one of the worst days I've seen yesterday for a lot of the Mag 7. Apple, by the way, did you guys see Apple stock? That thing. It's very rare you look at Apple, which is like the ultimate blue chip stock, and it's down that much on the week. Like, look at that. That just shows the times that we're in right now. Same with Tesla. But Tesla's had multiple red weeks in a row. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red weeks in a row for Tesla. Now the S&P 500, has it just opened 20 minutes ago? Let's see. Yeah, it just opened. Or was it? No, it was an hour ago, right? It's open bullish. So with this type of open, 1.35% move, that is a pretty nice little move up for the S&P 500. It's reclaimed a lot of the losses from yesterday. Almost all the losses from yesterday, which is a really, really bad day. It's almost reclaimed. So that could have been a bottom for the stock market. It could have been. Total Free has also reclaimed above this support level, which I told you guys would be the level to de-risk a little bit of your portfolio. And then you could buy back down here or buy back down here if we did go there. We have reclaimed above that level, and it is looking bullish, I must say. Okay. But you gotta be very careful. This market, they're constantly looking for the liquidity. They're constantly trying to get people trapped and get people in longs, get people really bullish, and then essentially liquidate you. So that is why I still purport the idea of having a lower risk portfolio as of right now with more quality coins in it. There will be a time. There will be a time where I come back to the memes and I come back to the higher risk low caps. There will be a time. But it's not right now. It's when we see a confirmed breakout, and it's when there's a lot of opportunity for the upside. Okay, right now we are still kind of in limbo. And there is a lot of fragility left in the market. Caught a live stream. Great to see you, Tim. Yeah, I'm still bullish on Peak, but as I said earlier, it's a coin where you don't go and put a lot in, okay? But it is a very good coin. Just the chart doesn't look great. It doesn't look great at all, but it had really bad timing of the launch. But once it's found its bottom, it should do well. Archie is too bearish. Well, let's see, man. Let's see what happens, bro. Let's see. I encourage debate and discussion on the channel. You know, there's people in my VIP who think we're going to 200K, and we battle out these ideas in voice chats. HD Crypto, if you're watching, he's one of them. He thinks Bitcoin's going to 150 to 200K as his base case, okay? And Ethereum is going to 10K, which is over a 5x from here. Now, if that happens, pretty much everyone makes it. Everyone gets rich. And I'm sorry, but that's just not how it works. Gives you a reality check at some point in this market. And I think it did it for a lot of people on this recent dump. Gave a lot of people a bit of a reality check. And, you know, everyone can't retire from crypto. Fortunately, I was able to do that. But everyone can't do that, because if everyone did that, the world would end. And we need people to do jobs. Like, we need people working jobs. So you think they're going to allow everyone to just retire? No, there'll be a lot of people who make a lot of money in the bull run. Maybe they make $1 million, and then they just ride that all the way back down, and then they got to go back to work. Make $1 million. They think it's all good. They can retire for a few years, focus on themselves, and then round trip the bags because they didn't sell. And then they got to go back to work. And that's where that whole McDonald meme comes from, right? Going back to McDonald's. Now, I worked a job in a bakery during university. Hopefully, I don't have to go back there, okay? Because that was pretty hard. I would say it's much harder than crypto, actually. Getting up at 4 a.m., scrubbing the floor. So hopefully I don't have to do that. But it gives you a good good outlook on life if you do those types of jobs at a young age. We're still following a 4-year cycle. We don't know, man. Like, I would say there's cracks in the 4-year cycle for sure. That's kind of how I've described it for a while, is there's cracks. The fact that Bitcoin made a higher high in March 2024 already showed the 4-year cycle has some cracks in it, okay? Because Bitcoin shouldn't have made a higher high in March. That was expected more like November, but it did it in March, which just shows how left-leaning we were, how left translated we were. So you will know when the 4-year cycle is broke or still valid in October. Okay, if by October Bitcoin hasn't made a new high, like in October, then the 4-year cycle would become invalid. Because the 4-year cycle says that we should make a higher high in October. I think it's around, is it October 20th or 25th? Some point towards the end of October would be the implied high from the 4-year cycle. If we were to top out in August, that would be a break of the 4-year cycle. If we were to top out in January, that would be a break of the 4-year cycle. If we were to top out in even September, it would kind of be a break, but it would probably still be valid, right? Because it's very, very close to October. But the 4-year cycle says the top should be in October. The issue with the 4-year cycle is it's much more of a concept in the mind rather than it is in reality. Okay? In reality, the Bitcoin halving has very little impact anymore compared to what it did in previous cycles. Okay? No one talks really anymore about a supply shock with Bitcoin or the halving or emissions or mining. People don't really talk about that anymore because it's such a small amount of Bitcoin that is actually emitted. Okay? And we're already mostly fully diluted, okay, with Bitcoin. Bitcoin isn't far from its fully diluted valuation. There is almost 20 million Bitcoins in supply, and 21 million is the max supply. So there's only like another million or so to mine. Back when there was like 10 million to mine, then yeah, there was a huge dilution impact from or a huge reduction in the dilution impact from the halving. But now, the halving's impact is very, very, very minimal. And for that reason, the 4-year cycle will break eventually. Whether it will be this cycle or not, we'll have to see. I think it will break this cycle and we will top out to the left of October. I think maybe we top out June, maybe we top out July, maybe August, maybe September. But I think it will probably be somewhat left-leaning compared to the October target. But we'll have to see, right? No one truly knows. We'll have to see. But there's definitely cracks in the 4-year cycle. And it's not as set in stone as what it once was. Good morning, Ariana. Good morning. Bro, it's fine. Guys, it's helpful. If you comment that the audio is bad, it's helpful to me. It's not hating. I don't know why. It's not hating, okay? If the audio is bad, please, please, please tell me because then I can fix it. Don't know why people think that's hating. ETH looks strong. Really? What chart are you looking at, bro? Because ETH, to me, anywhere below 2K is definitely not strong. It broke down below its macro support, stemming for like 2 years or whatever it was. This massive, massive M pattern or whatever it was, kind of double top. Okay. This massive double top pattern. I don't know if that's strong. If it was strong, it would have come down here and then bounced. That would have been strong. But it's come down to the last level of support, the last man standing, and it's dumped below there. Can someone make one good argument for ETH? I really don't get it. I don't know, man. The one good argument is like, it's got track record. That would be the good argument, is it's been here a while. But you could say that about like something really obsolete, like you could say that about a 40-year-old car. Hey, I've got this car. You know, it was made in the 1980s. Do you want to use it? Super efficient, super scalable. Right? That's kind of why the analogy doesn't really make sense. Like, the fact that something's been here a while, I mean, I guess it's a good thing, right? It's got like first mover advantage. It was the first one to make smart contracts. It's been here a while. People trust it. I don't really trust Vitalik, but people seem to trust Ethereum. So those would be like the arguments in favor of Ethereum. But I could make a lot more arguments against it, which is, for me, why long-term Ethereum isn't going to be an amazing project, okay, and in terms of price. Also, the layer ones, they basically leech the value from Ethereum into the layer ones, which obviously reduces the price of Ethereum token because it goes to the layer twos. How is it to live in Dubai? It's very good, bro. It's very good. Safe, clean. The weather's really nice apart from the summer, but I just leave in the summer anyway, right? But it's always good, just, you know, the middle of winter, there's a blue sky, people are sunbathing. It's nice, man. It is good. Plus, there's no tax on crypto, which is the bonus. Yeah, lending protocols for stablecoins, they could do well at some point. I've never been a massive fan of borrowing and lending, but it kind of has the regulatory go-ahead in the future, I think. With the fact that Trump's buying some coins like Aave, just shows. Shows that they're going to be legit. Like DeFi, RWA, these types of things will do well. Morpho and Syrup are good ones. Yeah, Morpho is solid. Is Syrup Maple? Is that the one you're talking about? Maple? Maple Finance? Maple? There's two Maples. Why is there two? Which one's Maple Finance and Maple? I remember there was a Maple. Okay, this one's on Coinbase. Yeah, this is the one, right? Secured lending. $6.2 billion loans issued. $6.2 billion borrowed. 680 million TVL. Check the chart. Let's go on the weekly and see. It's fairly old coin, I guess. So this thing had a pretty nice run in November, but never got to the highs of 2022, which is a little bit concerning considering it's been out for a while. It couldn't reclaim those highs. Kind of held the 786 fib level here. It's kind of held the 786 a few times, actually. So the bottom could be in for Maple. If it was to come back down to the 786, that would probably be a good entry for me to buy it. If I was going to buy it. When 100K, I don't know, man. Like, we could go to 100K and then come back down. The real question is, when will we have higher highs? And when will we have a sustained pump? And I think that would be when we get rate cuts. That would be my answer to that. $40 billion market cap possible for SEI? It's possible, but it's unlikely, bro. This cycle, it's unlikely. I'm just going to be real with you. I mean, it's almost $1 billion market cap, 40 billion. That's a, what, 42x, 43x, something like that. It's unlikely, bro. I would be targeting more of a 10 to 20x on SEI. I'd probably take profits even lower than that, but that would be my target. See Supra everywhere. Yeah, Supra does get quite a lot of community focus. My only issue with Supra is they didn't really raise much money from their VC rounds. Like when you compare it to the likes of SEI, Sui, Aptos, Supra was fairly small in terms of its fundraising. The chart as well, it's a massive kind of bleed out, but it looks very similar to Peak in that regard. So I'm not necessarily saying it's like over for the coin. The listings as well are very, very average with Supra. Bybit and Mexi and all these kind of, you know, you wouldn't say they're scam exchanges, but they're not like your reputable ones like your Coinbases or Binances. So I've always had Supra on my radar. I've always had it on my watch list, but I haven't been impressed by, first of all, the listings they've got, and second of all, the actual fundraising they managed to attain from the VCs. Like if I'm going to go for a layer one, either it's a completely fair launch like Kaspa, or they have to have a lot of VC backing because there's so much competition in the layer one sector. The clear winners are the ones which have the VC backing. Like they're the ones which will do well, like Sui or Solana. But if you were buying Supra now, it's not necessarily at a terrible time, okay? Not necessarily at a terrible time. But just risky, man. I'm not seeing any clear reversal signs as of yet. But anyway, guys, that's going to wrap up the stream. We've been live for 1 hour and 8 minutes. The viewers are starting to tick down, so I think people have watched enough. Appreciate you all watching, as always. Definitely go and check out that VIP group. There's a massive discount on right now. Use code SAVE20 at checkout. It's not going to be here for long, so use it while you can. Let me just post the link right now into the chat. It's wap.com/cryptoarchie. Okay, wap.com/cryptoarchie. I'll be over in the Discord later today for a group call. So I just let them know there in the VIP chat. Group call later today. All the fellow members will be there, hopefully. Man, these group calls are amazing. We usually get, you know, between 40 to 400 people in the group calls. We've had as high as like 300 people, 400 people. But usually it's maybe around 40 to 80 people in the group call, right? When I announce it. But sometimes it'll just be like 5 or 6 people in there talking about the market. So group call later. And if you are watching and you are a VIP member, go put a message in the VIP chat. And we'll see your little Discord profile pop up. Can you do a tutorial video on how to vet a coin? Potentially. I've got a full course, bro, I've got a full entire course on my research process for crypto. So my full vetting process it's all in my course, right? So I'd be giving away some secrets. Maybe I'll give away a few things, you know. I don't want to give away all my secrets, give away all my tactics, right? It's like a grandmaster chess player giving away all of his secrets, or a poker player, right? I'll give away some, but I don't want to give away everything because then I lose a little bit of competitive edge. So very, very valuable information on how I research coins, but I will go through that at some point, and I'll go through it in the VIP as well, especially. So, yeah, appreciate you guys watching. Drop the like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys probably... I'll be dropping a video on SEI either tonight or tomorrow morning. It will come out. So I'll see you guys there. And I'll see you guys over in the Discord later today for the group call. You've got about 4 hours until the group call. So there's definitely time to get in there and be ready. Appreciate you. See you in the next one. Goodbye.